Okay, so I was working on a bunch of these tunes in A minor, and I thought, I really want to try to work out something in E minor and kind of see what that involves. And I've been listening to this song for a really long time because I heard the Weavers version when I was a kid, way before I heard Merle Travis or Tennessee Ernie Ford or anything. What I'm mostly going to talk about here is just a bit about the right hand and about what kind of blues licks you can play over that alternating bass. And if you want to check out the tab of the arrangement that I just played, you can go to the link down below or the link that went by on screen. And if you click on that, you can sign up for my mailing list and download the tab for that arrangement and everything like that. So what we've got going on is basically the chord progression is we've got a bunch of E minor, we've got C7, we've got B7, and then somewhere along the way we also have an A minor. And the thing is that the bass line going like this has got really, this is an E, and then this is also an E. This is just an E with the 7th and the bass. And then C7, and then B7. And a lot of times I'm trying to get the melody and the bass at the same time. I do this thing that I think of as faking the 4th string. So I'm doing palm muting to begin with. Got my palm resting on the strings, so they're kind of thumpy. But then, if you really dig in with the palm, you can get this kind of percussive thump on the 4th string, which is great if you're alternating between the 6th and the 4th string, because between that and playing kind of sloppy and letting whatever you're playing on the 5th string kind of drape over onto the 4th string, you can get this kind of percussive thing going on, which makes kind of a backbeat, and it also means you don't have to worry about playing the right note on the 4th string for the chord you're playing. So when you're playing this bass line, you just get that instead. And that makes it easier to solo over. And on top of that, you don't really need to do the bass line here. You don't need to play the bottom of that, that's that 7th of the E minor when you're actually solo. You can just play a whole bar of E and then play C7 to B7 and then E minor again, C7 to C7 to B7, and then a bar of E minor and a bar of A minor and then E minor and then a turnaround. And it's a little different for the second ending, but that's the basic idea. So on top, you can basically play an E blues scale over everything. It works over E. It works pretty much over C. As you can see, it's hitting a lot of chord tones. There's the 9th. The B natural, not so much, but then B flat's good, so you could just skip over that. And then over the B7, all those blues notes sound good because it just sounds like bluesy tension that's going to resolve back to the 1. And over the A minor, if you wanted to, I mean, the blues scale works over the 4 chord. Or you could spell out a little bit of the A minor because there's that note there. That's really the main sort of essential note for kind of telegraphing that you're actually on the A minor is this note C here. So you could stick that in. So you've got all that going on, and so the idea is to get the thumb going and just try some simple blues licks. I mean, even something like, and just see if you can get that to go over all 3 or 4 chords. So really simple things to start with. And, if you think about how you're phrasing things, if you take a phrase and play something simple and then kind of answer it, it doesn't have to be complicated, but if you give the solo just a little bit of shape and architecture like that, then it won't feel like you're just noodling, it'll feel like you're playing phrases, and that's what the melody does, it plays phrases. So that's just a way to start thinking about it. So one last thing is, because you have these dominant chords here, the C7 and the B, and because the B7 is resolving back to E minor, if you want to get fancy, you can play some trickier B7 stuff. And what I'm doing is playing basically the altered sound over the B7. So if you watched any of those lessons I did on playing the changes, and I talk about the altered sound, here's a way to sneak that into the fingerstyle thing. So we've got a B7, and the chord tones we got here are, here's the fifth and the third and the root and the flat 7 of B7, which means the altered tones are, here's flat 13 right above the fifth, and here's the major third, here's sharp 9 or flat third into the third, and here's flat 9 resolving to the root of B7. So you have to kind of fudge it a little bit where the bass is going. So here I really am playing a note on the, I'm not just kind of doing that faking the fourth thing. There I kind of am. So I want to get the bass to go instead of just sitting there going like this. And so the other thing I'm doing is I'm kind of playing a chord, I'm kind of playing a sort of a chord substitution and kind of just messing with the form, which is, it really should be E minor, then a quick B7 and back, but I'm basically taking a whole bar of B7 just and extending that out because it sounds cool if you're coming through the changes like this. As long as you make a really solid resolution back to the one on time, the chord police will not come and get you for spending more time on the B7 than the original tune actually spends, because it's a moment of just saying, well, what I'm basically here to do is get from 5 to 1, and if I want to take my time doing it, as long as I get there on time at the end, everything's cool. So that's just a few ideas about how to play some alternating thumb blues improvisation on a tune in E minor. Again, if you want to check out the notation and tab to the basic arrangement of the tune, you can go to the link below or the link at the end of the video and download that. And if you've got questions or particular things about this style that you want to ask me about, just scroll down and leave a comment. I will check it out if you've got something particular. If it's something that I actually can say something confident about, I'll try to talk about it in a future lesson. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.